Hey, this is Reverend Bill, and welcome to my new channel. Um, I'm calling it Awakenings. It's different than my other channel. Uh, the other channel, when I started doing it, I wasn't sure what direction I wanted to go into. And it primarily just kind of morphed into entertainment. But there's a much more important subject that I wanted to address. And I don't think a lot of people kind of view God, Jesus, in the correct light. And I've had a lot of experiences with good and evil, battling Satan and his disciples, and also I've got a very special relationship with Jesus. Um, and I just wanted to like have some kind of forum to talk about it. Um, and we can discuss. You can actually give me any experiences or thoughts that you have also on it. But the thing is, I don't think people really understand uh, the role of Jesus in their lives. There was a movie that I watched recently with Michael Shannon, very good actor, and he played a hitman. And I think his target might have been John Franco, but it's really irrelevant. He got there, and I think he was wrestling with the idea of God. And he took out a gun and he said, if you really believe in God, I'll give you 1 minute to pray and see if he can help you. And John Franco prayed, and of course, nothing happened. And Michael Shannon ended up killing him and said something like, "I thought so." That's not what God is about. And I will tell you something else too. God does intervene. People seem to think Jesus is aloof. And before we go into that, let me just say it's a very common misconception. People talk about God. God's a title. God, that's what it is. God can be Allah. God can be Buddha. God can be whatever they believe in. The Christian God is Jesus. And people throw the word God around, and it's a title. It's not. It's kind of vain to think that when we talk about God, everyone knows it's the Christian God. No, it's Jesus. And the first thing I want to state is that you have to always go through Jesus. You can't really talk to the Holy Ghost. I mean, you can, but you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to talk to God the Father either. Jesus was sent to us to be a conduit to the heavens. I just wanted to clarify that because a lot of people just talk about God like everyone knows. Oh, it's a Christian God, right? Um, no, Jesus is our a communication channel to everything up there. Um, Now, why doesn't God, Jesus, respond like in that movie? Well, I'll tell you, Jesus does respond. And I'll tell you that I've seen miracles. I've seen possessions. I've actually fought black magic. I'm actually going through a situation right now where I'm fighting off black magic. And without Jesus, I'd be lost. So Jesus does interfere under the right set of circumstances. And I think one of the misconceptions is, well, wait a minute, Jesus, if he loves us, he'll love us just the way we are. No, that's not true. Jesus does love us, and he loves us unconditionally. But for those parents out there that love their children with all their heart, like I raised two children and two stepchildren, and as a parent, you love your children more than anything. But that doesn't mean that if they go out and they start drinking and doing drugs and staying out all night, you're not going to be okay with that. I would imagine you're not. I wouldn't be. Um, and you got to lay down some laws. Well, it's no different with Jesus. We have got to live by his rules. And it took me a long time to realize that. But I now get it. Um, and I'll be getting more detail with stories later on if you want to hear them. But one of the things that really shocked me was um, the revelation that I was sitting too much for God, and here I am. I'm a reverend. I try to save souls. I've never cheated on my wife. I don't steal. I don't kill. I don't. I mean, I've do all the commandments. I can't imagine anything that I've done wrong, and yet. Jesus did come to me, and he called me a sinner, and he straightened me out, and we can get a little more into that later on. But the point is, since Jesus explained to me what I was doing that made him unhappy, he's much more receptive to me. And when I pray, I get answers. Maybe not as dramatically as in that movie, but maybe so. I wouldn't rule it out. By the way, I've seen some really amazing things coming from prayer. And the second thing is, uh, people seem to think that Jesus judges on a bell curve. And by that I mean, um, well, okay, so sure, I look at a little pornography, and I drink too much, and maybe I don't go home at night. But look at that guy. That guy's an adulterer. He spends all his money at the racetrack. I mean, geez, look at him. I mean, I'm a saint compared to him. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. See, Jesus only cares about you, and he wants you to follow his rules and his commandments, and don't be a sinner. He doesn't care about the guy next to you. So don't think just because the guy next to you or the guy to your left and to your right are worse than you that you're okay. We each have to take accountability for what we do. That's really important. I think one of the big things people miss out on is Adam and Eve. They were put in the Garden of Eden, and they were given one rule, and that was don't eat the fruit. And they did, and they ate the fruit. I really firmly believe that we are the second chance, that God, after Adam and Eve, he gave us a second chance. And we've got more temptation than just an apple. Okay, we've got a lot of things going on here, especially with the internet, especially with all this trans stuff, with gay rights and all this kind of stuff, left, right, and center. We're very distracted. And I was distracted. I mean, it took me a long time to realize that I was not where I should be. And I'm proud to say that with the help of Jesus, he did come to me, and he explained to me that I just wasn't good enough. And he got me into shape. And I'm proud to say now that I firmly believe that Jesus and I are in a very, very special relationship. And there's nothing special about me, by the way. There really isn't. God listens to me, or Jesus listens to me, because I pray an awful lot. And I like to think he gives me more often than I get most. I get a lot of good results with my prayers more often than I don't. And that's really all that really matters, is that we live a good life. Nothing else really matters. Taylor Swift doesn't matter. Kim Kardashian doesn't matter. Netflix doesn't matter. None of this stuff matters. To be honest with you, I don't really even matter. I mean, we're all individuals trying to find our way to Jesus. And I'm no better than anyone else. I just think that I'm very fortunate in that I found a path. And I think that I'm finally, after 60 years, I'm on the path to redemption. Anyway, that's just my introduction. And I hope you guys join. And I would be very interested in hearing from you. I've a lot of experience as far as fighting evil, all that kind of stuff. I don't want to get into it right now. This is supposed to be just an introduction into my new channel. So hopefully you'll join. And if you do like this, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm not so much interested in clicks, but I want to get the word out there. I want to spread the good word of the Lord. So thank you for joining, and I hope you got something out of this. I really do. Thank you. Bye-bye.